Millions of people have taken to the streets and are protesting all across Europe because they want the Russian puppets out. And what have we seen here in the US? We've seen actually crickets in the mainstream press. This is one of the biggest instances of media malpractice that we have ever seen. There are millions of people that are protesting in the streets of Serbia, Georgia, Romania, Hungary against the dictatorships that are in power in those states. And these dictators are tightly aligned with Putin. And the fact that the American press is not reporting on any of this is criminal. We've already known that the American press lacks a spine. They sane-washed this orange idiot that's in office right now for the better part of 10 years and refused to report on his clear cognitive decline and his authoritarian leanings and dreams that he talked about openly during his campaign. Instead, they put their focus on the black woman who actually had policies that would benefit 95% of the population. The media refused to do an honest job of reporting what happened, and they're continuing that trend on a number of different fronts. They're not holding this administration accountable for all of the illegality that is coming out of the White House. There have been literally 15 injunctions placed on this administration just in the month of February, and there has been very little reporting on the illegality of it. The media has refused to hold the press secretary and the White House spokesperson accountable for all of the wingnuttery that's happening. And on top of that, they're not reporting the protests that have been going on since inauguration across all 50 states and all 50 capitals. That's all been buried. And on top of that, they are burying all of the protests that are happening in Europe across the Soviet satellite states that Putin has ties to and Putin has plants in power. And as those plants are losing their grip on power, the citizens have taken to the streets and the media isn't reporting on it. As I mentioned, this is criminal. And that paired with the fact that this Russian asset who is currently in power in the US is giving lifeline after lifeline to Putin's agenda, and that's not even being reported, this tells you how in the tank the media is when it comes to honest reporting and honest journalism. This is why old media is dead, because they lack courage. They lack the courage to report things as they are and report things fairly. They are afraid, they are cowards. And this is why independent media and independent creators who aren't bound by billionaire oligarchs and their rules are critical in advancing the message that needs to be advanced. So when you start feeling like you're not making any progress, pay attention to what they're not talking about. Look at how European sources are reporting on global news. That's where you're going to find the truth and the momentum, because you certainly can't rely on the American press, who is already laid over and is busy licking the boots of the tyrant in chief.